Hey guys, welcome back to the Role Play Podcast. It's Ebony.
And this is your girl, Sierra.
And today we're doing a crossover episode with the City of Savages. So we hope you enjoy this, all these conversations we're about to have today.
Yes.
For sure.
What
And
up?
welcome, guys. This is Cam,
It's your boy Greg, man. You already know what it is.
and we are the City of Savages podcast. Super excited to be on with you guys today.
Facts.
So this should be fun.
We're excited to have you. But before we get started, I need to know this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Team Android or Team iPhone?
Oh, Team iPhone. Is that a
iPhone.
question?
All day long.
I need to get up off of here. I ain't got no allies. Okay. I just
Oh,
wanted to know.
dang.
I just want to know. It's Team
It's
Android.
3
over
on
here.
1 already. Oh,
It
no,
is.
no,
Man.
no,
But you know what? I can hold it down by myself.
Word.
right.
I
But
like
you're
that.
Android, sure.
Word.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the episode. I was just curious.
Well, I just know that if we were recording from our phones, it would have to be one of us three because that Android joint.
Shots fired.
Hey, when you
Oh.
when you send, let me ask you a question. When you send videos, does it still send the grainy joint to the iPhones?
First of all, hold up. I send them on WhatsApp, so it looks good. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
See,
don't-
with
I don't
the
use no app.
droid, with the droid, you got to be like a hacker. You got to like figure out how to get around stuff with the droid. That's what I don't like about it. That iPhone's simple. Just do simple stuff.
Right. Sierra's like, oh, send me this video, send me a picture on WhatsApp. I'm like,
Yeah, send it
that's
on.
the only reason why I even have the app is because it's Sierra.
You can send it. You can send it on WhatsApp or Instagram, and it'll be fine.
Mm.
Okay.
Or Facebook.
Gotcha.
Anything else outside of regular text message. I'm actually with my Android. I use a text message app called Message Plus, and that could be part of it. It's not the regular text message.
Okay.
But anyways,
You're pleading our case, just FYI.
Yeah.
that's why
For
y'all
sure. Yeah,
screens break
definitely.
all the time.
I was gonna try to jump in and help you out, Sierra,
What?
but yeah, it's
Greg, haven't
No.
we bonded over these past couple weeks?
It's no help.
I mean, we've been there. That's why I was like, I was trying to have your back a little bit, but it's
Number.
just-
Okay.
it's Team Apple over here for real. You know, what
I
I'm
am
saying?
on I'm on a Mac right now though. I'll say that.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
that's a
hey,
start.
I'll give you point. Hey, 2 points. 2 points for the MacBook.
Thank you.
Word. So where y'all want to start at? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Let's get right into it, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited too.
So I
I mean-
did ask this question. I want to ask you, and you probably don't remember. I asked Greg this random question before we started the podcast.
Mhm.
Do you remember me from your anatomy class?
You asking me? Do I remember you from my anatomy class? Oh,
No.
no.
I was about to say I want some juicy like details of what Ebony used to be like, and you don't.
You don't remember.
I'm gonna be
what?
real. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't remember. There's only one person that I remember from anatomy, and that's because I used to sit next to her, and I don't remember nobody else that was in my anatomy class because I used to miss lab all the time.
And it was
like,
hard. What was
it
your
was.
professor's name?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I have no idea.
I must have been a nerd my freshman year because he was Dr. Peters. And I remember because he was a heart surgeon. And I was like, crap, to take an anatomy class with a heart surgeon, it was hard. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I remember. But I knew
Yeah, I
you
don't
guys.
even
I didn't know
remember.
you guys then anyway. So yeah. But-
Yeah. Anatomy was a blur for me because I was just like, I would be so overwhelmed every
Mhm.
day with like all the information. Like, what? Like,
Right.
we have 200, 300 question tests. It was
Yes.
crazy.
People don't
Yeah.
believe me when I tell them, like, CSU was expensive, but it gave me a quality education because I had to work for my degree.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So all of you guys, the reason why we're collabing our podcast right now is because the three of you knew each other or have known of each other and went to the same school. And you
Yeah.
guys kind of are starting off with the podcast. We're almost 1 year in March.
That's
so we're
awesome.
still
Yo,
starting
congrats.
off. Thank
Congrats.
you.
Yeah,
But we're collaborating because of the bond that you guys already
for sure.
have. So that's cool. It's
Yeah. So we're mutual friends, so to speak. So I got introduced to Ebony through one of our frat brothers, Pat. So Ebony's always been kind of cool since then. And so, I mean, we've known each other now. We finished school. Well, I finished school 2009. So it's been at least,
Um,
11, 12 years since I've known you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's
we, I
about
mean,
So,
that's
we
about
crazy.
right.
mutual friends. We hung out, same people,
Yeah,
same areas, same
exactly.
party.
Exactly.
Used to get in all the parties for
Exactly.
free. So yeah.
So that's cool how everything
Right.
like comes back together and we're all doing the same thing, trying to get
Hmm.
out there, get our podcasts rolling, get our thoughts out there in the world, the voices, clearing all the what was it,
Yeah.
Ebony?
Oh my
Clearing
God.
all clearing all the noise that's
Hmm.
out there. So we've got positive podcasts. So
Yeah.
For
that's what's
sure.
up.
Absolutely.
So
So, oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right, so
Jinx.
yeah, I know, right? So my whole thought about this is with this crossover episode, you got two guys over here, City of Savages, and then the Real Play, we got two women, right? So I
Mhm.
think that there's some great conversations to be had. So I know there's some things on y'all's mind that you want to have some good conversations with a couple of men with, and we got a couple of things in our mind that we want to have good conversation with as well. So, that's kind of what my thought is of how this is going to go. And I'm just excited for it. I'm excited to talk to you all, and I hope the audience is. I'm excited for them to hear what we're going to talk about in some of these conversations.
Right,
I
So,
right.
echo that, Cameron. I echo that. That's all I'll say. Pretty much
Ditto.
covered
or
pretty much covered it for me. That's literally how I was looking at it as well. And so, just like I said, I'm excited, man. This is dope. I'm happy that we have the opportunity to do this. Just to your point,
yeah,
Sierra, everything comes full circle. Sometimes you don't expect it to, but it does. So,
Mhm.
it's dope, man. So just like Cam said, man, we hope you guys enjoy it because we're happy to bring it to you.
So one of the first topics that I want to talk about, and it's not necessarily men versus women or that kind of topic, but since we've known each other for a long time, I want to talk about like editing your life. Like if you could go back and say, man, like, you know, take yourself who you were in college and then who you are now. Like, did you expect to be this person or how did you envision your life? Because I think actually I said this won't be men versus women, but I think men view their life a certain way and
mhm.
women view their life a different way. So what did you expect your life to look like at this point?
Oh man, I'll start with that. So, you know, my life is nothing the way that I envisioned it to be,
Mhm.
uh, and I think most people probably feel that way. So I'll be like candid. When I was in college, you had this perfect picture of what life is going to be like, right? So first of all, you thinking that because you know, I don't know y'all's experience or y'all's background, but for us, we're not coming from like a lineage of people who went to
Mhm.
college and have been super successful, right? So it's
Yeah.
like we're thinking that, I just need to if I get this degree, and I do the right things, I'm gonna get a job out of college. I'm gonna move up in the ranks in the corporate world. We're gonna be successful. It's gonna be the American dream, and things don't necessarily work out that way, especially when you graduate school in 2009, when like it's a major recession going on, right?
Somebody lied
Um,
to us.
exactly, super lie. But I mean, I always had this vision. I mean, I'm in college, we dating and stuff. So you think that, I'm gonna be married while I'm 25 years old. We're gonna start having kids. I'm gonna have this great life. We're gonna have houses and nice cars and all of this stuff, right? So no, I mean, my life is nothing like I thought it would be. I thought I would be working corporate world, and I'm not. I'm working primarily in the military. Like I said, I thought I would be married. I'm not. So I mean, things are a lot different than how I initially envisioned it when I went to college. So how y'all feel about that? Where y'all at with it?
I mean, I'll say for me, my life is first of all the thoughts that I had that my life would be. I thought I was going to be married after 21, before 25 for some odd
Mm,
reason. I thought that to your point, first generation going to college, I thought I got my degree, my life just changed. I make all of this money. I have this uh office in a like 20-story building,
Right.
Right.
team of people, and directing people, telling me to go get my coffee, and my
Yeah.
life is not anywhere how I dreamed it to be. But I think that life takes twists and turns for a reason.
yeah.
I'm not unhappy at this point. I feel like, had I got all the things that I thought I wanted at that point, I wouldn't really have anything to work towards. So kind of happy. I mean, I work in IT. I'm learning a lot of stuff about that. So yeah, I mean, I have some things I would change, but it's a good life.
Okay.
I guess we'll do that's dope, but I guess we do men and women. Um so man, I don't know. I don't even know where to start, y'all, because me and Cam, like we close, but at the same time, like we live two different lives because I am married and I was married at 25. And I didn't expect it. And I think a lot. First of all, let me put out there too, because a lot of people ask me like, "Man, you were married at 25," and it was like, "Was you ready?" Absolutely, absolutely. But it's like I don't think you're ready for what life throws at you after marriage and trying to just build up in the corporate world, because I've been in corporate America for probably about 12 years now, and you just don't expect certain things to happen. I mean, I have, beautiful family, beautiful wife, two kids, and it's amazing. But Ebony, to your point, men do think about status, and when it comes to like what your status is, what your title is, and different things of that sort. So, thinking about my life and where it is now, it is nothing compared to like what I was thinking like in college and before college and afterwards. Um, I just, it's like life can take you through so many different twists and turns
Yeah.
that you don't expect. And so, but we can get into a little bit, but it's not what I expected, but I do live, I have a lot of blessings that I'm thankful for, a beautiful family, but it does have its, bumps and bruises and different trials that you kind of go through. So, yeah.
What was interesting to me is you said you were ready at 25. Like, I feel like I said I wanted to be married between 21 and 25. Now, would I have been ready? I probably would have been in shock had I got married at 25. I don't
Right.
think, yeah.
Same.
So, so to that point, when I was growing up, man, I was thankful enough to have, great parents. And my pops always told me, he was like, "Yo, make sure you're financially stable, before you get married or before you decide that, you're gonna marry a woman and start a family and have kids and all this other stuff. Like, just make sure you're financially stable. You got your ducks in a row and all of that." And when I proposed, I did not feel like I was financially stable. But me and my then girlfriend, before I proposed, I just knew that, I prayed about it and I was like, "Yo, can you really like see yourself like living without her?" And so once the answer to that was no, then I was like, "Okay, I'm good," because I really feel like it was for me. Um, it was hard to try to say like I'm financially stable, because I really didn't feel like it. Like we what for I mean, like fresh out of college, basically. I mean, we're in our mid 20s and we're having fun. We're still experiencing certain things. We're still finding out about self. Like, 33 years old now, and I'm still finding out, self, still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you're discovering something new about yourself every day. But anyway, long story short, it's about the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no perfect time for anything. Like everyone can say like it's a perfect time to have kids and it's a perfect time to do this and do that. But really what it boiled down to is like, can you see yourself live without this person? I asked myself that at the time. Definitely, what I'm saying, the answer was, no, like I can't see myself live without her. And so that was it for me. Like, you're gonna make it happen, you're gonna make it work regardless of the situation. Like, don't make excuses like, oh, you don't have enough money set aside, or you don't have, $20,000 set in your savings account, you know what I'm saying, to save up for a house. You know what I mean? If you have communicated with her and you tell her and you honest with her about where you at in life, and she good with you, and you good with her, and both of y'all, it's the communication piece, right? But literally it's about the person. So I give credit to her, and to God. Like, that was the decision for me. Like, I told the guy first, and then I talked to her, and I was like, okay, as long as we good, I'm good. I know everyone doesn't have that, but when I say I'm ready, like it was based on her, because if it was anybody else, I can't say the same thing. I can't say that I'll be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you
That's
set a
good.
bar
I'm
and you
about to
asked your
say, I feel like you really dropped some gems there.
yeah,
And
for
I feel
sure, for
like
sure.
one of the things that you said that I feel like a lot of guys now struggle with is they want to be not even just financially stable, like they want to
Mhm.
make sure their life is perfect
Right.
Mhm.
before they get married or before they propose. And little do they know, like, we don't really need you to have it. We don't even expect you to have everything together, like
Mm.
completely together.
Right.
We're willing to accept you as you are, and we can continue to live this life and grow and learn together. So the fact that you knew enough to like, hey, I don't want to be without her. I'm getting myself together. I'm gonna communicate with her where I'm at. If she's good, I'm good. Like, that's, fellas, if you're listening, rewind what he just said and listen to it again. You don't have to have it all together.
Hey, but you know what? And
You gotta
and
have
and
it
that's
some.
true.
Hold up, hold
You,
up,
you do
hold up.
like
You
yeah.
do
I
have
was
to
about
have
to
some,
say
but you don't, like, guys feel, a lot of them say, well, I want to make this amount of money. I want to have this house. I want to have that. They want to have it all. Like, they want their life to be
Mhm.
perfect, and then they propose. And
right.
I think there's a difference between having it perfect and proposing, and being on your way to it and really going in that direction. You
Yeah,
don't have to have it all the way set.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I just want to touch on that. Like to Ebony's point, you do have to have it somewhat together. Like, I do, I don't want to make this like, or I, I I believe I'm a modest person, so I don't want it to sound any kind of way, but I do pride myself on being ambitious and just continue to be driven. Like I feel like if my wife didn't see ambition in me or drive into wanting to be better, then she might not say
Mhm.
yes or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as me asking her to marry me, she like, you know what, nah, like, I see certain potential in you, but if you're not continuing to build toward that, then nah, like this can't go anywhere and stuff. And I don't want to paint
Mhm.
a picture for people out there listening that you know you know I stand by what I said, that there isn't a perfect time, but at the same time, we worked really hard to get to where we are now. Like within the past, you know, we're going on 8 years of marriage this year, guys, and it's been a lot. We've dealt with a lot. We were both in school while still raising two infants, which I don't suggest to anyone. Like I don't recommend anyone do that, not even my worst enemy,
Mhm.
because you just go through so many different things, and we can definitely talk about that later. But basically what I'm saying is it is hard work if you do take that route. And if, like I said, as long as you communicate with the person, you guys are on the same page. I think that's the
Mhm.
biggest key to just being on the same page with whoever it is, whoever your life partner is, just being on that same page with them and communicating. That's the biggest key. But let me just tell you, it's hard freaking work, like for real. So um but like it's different strokes for different folks, so everything isn't for everybody. So
Yeah. So oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna go back to the original question
Yeah.
since
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was the last person to answer it, and mine's really gonna be a real quick answer. So I really didn't have this full vision of what my life was gonna look like. I did want to have a good job, I wanted to work for the NBA, the National Basketball Association, just to clear that up. I wanted to work for them.
That made sense.
Huh?
So you didn't have to clear it up. It made sense.
Or
Yeah, I think that's what we thought.
my enunciation may have been off, saying. So I wanted to work for the NBA Cares program. Um,
Mhm.
I wanted to go to college. I did. I went to the same college as my dad. But as far as like this life of when I'm gonna get married, when I'm gonna have kids, when I'm gonna do that, definitely thought it would be before 35, but I didn't really have any idea of when it would happen.
Mhm.
35 now. Meh. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and we'll just see where life takes me. But I never really sat down and completely thought about it, which is probably bad, but I never really did, because I just knew like whatever direction I was gonna go, like it was gonna be in the right direction, and I was just going to kind of let myself go that way. I knew I had to go to school. That's one thing, like my parents weren't playing. So I knew I had to go to school, but other than that, I didn't really have much. And I'm working for the government and everyone's like, oh, you got a good job. Yeah, but it's boring. You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
it's like I'm living
Listen,
their dream, but I'm like, what's next?
I mean, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's important to have a plan, but I also think it's important not to rest on it. I mean, 3 out of the 4 of us said, we had a plan, a goal, a dream, and none of it happened, right? Or maybe some of it
Mhm.
happened, but it wasn't what we initially thought. So I think
right.
it's always important to kind of assess where you are. I feel like I assess myself at least when my birthday hit for the year. I go and I'm like, oh, did I like this? Or did I like my attitude this year? Did I like the people
Mhm.
around me? What do I want to change? How do I want to be better? Things like that. So
Okay.
That's a good thing to
I
do.
like that, Evan.
Yeah, very. I like that.
I don't do that, but I
Yeah.
might have to implement that.
Yeah, no, I like that.
So
That's a good idea.
yeah, yeah. But I think that like you said, I mean, it's great to have a plan, but what I've kind of learned over the years is that these things happen that seem coincidental, but I think that it's meant to happen that way.
Right.
So even though things don't always happen the way that we want them to, sometimes better things happen than what we initially planned. So,
Mhm.
you can't get too caught up in, that's not the plan, that's not the plan, because you just got to be able to pivot and learn as you go, and then you kind of figure out your way.
I agree. And sometimes our
Yeah.
dreams are just like minor,
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
small. We can't
Right.
even see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's facts. That's definitely facts. So I'm thinking about the topic that we were just discussing coming, we all talking about marriage and things like that. And, one thing I was thinking about is from y'all's perspective, talking to the women now, how do you feel about a super ambitious man? Like, I want to know, does a woman really want a man who is super ambitious? And when I say that, I'm talking about somebody who's doing 3, 4, 5, 10 things, and really hustling, and they're working. They might go leave out in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. and you don't see them again until 8, 9, 10 at night because they just putting in work daily, daily, daily. Is that something that how do y'all feel about that as women?
You want me to answer first?
Go ahead.
Personally want an ambitious man because I feel like I'm ambitious, and guys that I've tried to talk to that I feel like lack ambition, it's just like you just ruin it for me. Like I can't. Once I find that out, communication just ceased, right?
Mhm.
However, I feel like there's a time and a place, so we can run
Yeah.
together. We can be ambitious together, but 3, 5 years, 10 years of that, at a certain point, we have to cut it off because we can't sustain. We both can't be, running at the same time. I might have to run
Mhm.
a little bit, hand you the baton, and then you run. I feel like a relationship works well when you're younger and you can do that, but once you get older and you start to have kids, it probably
Mhm.
will be a wear and tear on your relationship. I think I was in a clubhouse room where they were talking about something that I didn't realize. I say I want a super ambitious man, but you also don't know what will come along with that, right?
Mhm.
To Ken's
Mhm.
point, he probably won't be home. He probably will miss birthdays and anniversaries and all these things because money comes first, right? And so it's a give and a take. I don't know. I say yes, then I say no. So that's my answer.
No, I like it because it's honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to your point, it's like give and take. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say being ambitious is definitely sexy. We do want that. We want to see that drive. But I don't want anybody super anything.
Mm.
Super ambitious, super romantic, super caring. The super word, I don't want that. I don't want that extra level where it almost seems as though it becomes like their life.
Mm.
And
That's good.
so
Yeah.
I want you to be ambitious. I want you to drive our family, and that'll help push me and drive, and we'll push each other. But I
Mm,
don't really want someone who's going to be out away from the house 15 hours a day, coming in exhausted, because then when are we going to have time for us? So
yeah.
hopefully
Right.
we can build early on in the relationship and do stuff together to later on you can bring back some of that ambition, and that money can be coming in while we're sleeping and you don't feel like
Mm,
you have to hustle as hard. So anything with super is not going to work for me. But be
mm.
ambitious. Like that
Ambition.
right there,
Yeah.
that's the secret sauce.
Mm,
Okay.
One of the secret sauces. There's multiples, but that's
yeah,
that mac sauce.
yeah.
I like that though, because I don't think I've ever really heard that. What to what stood out to me that you said as far as like not that super word, because what that illustrates to me is just like just being balanced, you know what I'm saying? Not being
Mhm.
like just tipping the scale too much as far as like being, too romantic or too ambitious or something like that. Just really have some balance about yourself and being able to just, try to figure out how to, balance everything and not lean, or tip the scale too far,
Right.
Yeah,
in a different direction. So that's a good.
See,
yeah,
you can still be super, but just ambitious, right? I mean, because I'm ambitious, but sometimes I even have to talk to myself like I don't know how to cut it off. Like go to work all day, maybe do something for the podcast, do something else. Even sometimes when I watch movies, it's a documentary, something educational, and I have to be like, all right, dial it back. You
mm,
can relax now, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the person.
Yeah,
It's.
it's
I'm sorry.
definitely
Go
the
ahead.
person. I think for me, I attach a negative connotation to super in that way. I just
Mm,
think of it as a negative thing, like you're doing too much, obsessive.
yeah.
That's why I
Mhm.
don't like it in my head. But if it's like a super, like, yeah, I'm really good at what I'm doing and I'm going to do it a lot because I like it super, then that makes sense if it's building you up. But I just don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You said the word that I was thinking about, what you meant by that, obsessive, being obsessive, that could bring something over the top. So no matter what it is,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, I think that's the key. So you don't want to be obsessive. You want to have that balance, like Greg was saying.
Right.
Or
Do men like super ambitious women though?
hmm.
Cam, you gonna take this one first?
Yeah, no. And
Just flat out
I
no.
want to say so.
You see how
And not to say that men, and I guess I can't really speak for all men, but I would say probably most men think the same way I do. Not super ambitious, but definitely ambitious. So we don't want somebody that's sitting around a house and they're not doing anything with their life. They just sitting around watching Netflix all day. Nobody wants that. Now you want somebody that's kind of on their shit. They on their grind. Excuse me for the language, but they on their stuff. They on their grind, and they have goals and dreams, right? Uh, but at the same time, I, me personally, I want somebody that can, again, we have a relationship and we're able to do things together, right? So, you know, like you're saying, Sarah, you don't want somebody that's out the house 15 hours a day, right? So when are we going to have that time together? So you want the ambition, like, all right, what are you doing? Are you going to do something in your career? What are you doing to better your life and better our life together, right? But you don't want somebody that's over the top with it or obsessive on that end. So that's where I'm at with it.
um, yeah, I agree. I want to echo that again. Uh,
Ditto.
yeah. Nah. At first, Cam, honestly, I was about to disagree with you, but after you broke it
Mhm.
down, um, I can't speak for all men either, but I can speak for me, and I agree with Cam. We want you ambitious, but not super ambitious and over the top. I just feel like anyone, whether male or female, can just, we can get to a point we can get too busy and we need to dial it back some.
Mm,
Um, but I just feel like from, as far as men and what men want, we don't want we just don't want anyone lazy, but at the same time, we
exactly.
don't want you like gone, all the time, or if you like super busy, so busy where you don't have time for family. Like, no, that's not attractive. Like, you need
Yeah.
to have time for not only family, but have time for yourself. You can get so busy or get so worked up where you don't have
Hmm.
time to be self first. Like, you
Yeah.
know, being ambitious is one thing, but especially as a woman, like you have to sometimes I have to remind my wife, like, hey, before you're a wife, before you're a mom, before you're a nurse, you're a woman first. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
remember, like you're a woman, and then like I think that brings it back. So, you know, not being lazy, but at the same time not being over the top with it. So I think that most men can agree to that or attest to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Balance. Balance is
Bounce.
hard.
Hmm.
Balance is not always 50-50. Balance
Yeah.
is like 80-20.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's a good point too.
Yeah, no, really.
Speaking
So
of balance, I have
go
a
ahead.
real quick question. Kind of the same. So like if she's ambitious, she's out there, she's working, you at home. I mean, you come home, you want to come home to a a meal, right? True, y'all want to eat at
Mm,
night.
yeah,
So
yeah.
my question goes into, okay, so she's working. How, is it a fake me out if not her whole meal is not completely home cooked? Like say she just decides she wants to go somewhere, pick up a few things, pre-made, maybe put the lasagna in her own from the freezer into her own little thing and make it look like she did it. Like,
Mm.
is that a bad thing? If the woman takes the shortcuts, do y'all look at her like,
No.
yo, sis, you ain't really in the kitchen cooking?
Nah,
Nah.
man. Let me take
Yeah,
this
because
one first. Let
okay.
me let me have
Go
it.
ahead.
Let me have it. Let me have this.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
No, because I can speak on, being with a woman who works hard and is hardworking and works long hours. You know what I'm saying? Uh I think that women appreciate effort, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, women appreciate effort, right? Men appreciate that shit too. Like, I mean, can we cuss? I'm sorry. I just,
It's
to be,
fine. Cuss
I'm
like 3 times.
sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, but no, um, men appreciate that too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
jokes aside, and like, it's like, um, if I got something to eat, whether it's something that's frozen out of the refrigerator or freezer or something like that. I mean, now if that's 7 days a week, you know what I mean. I might like,
Right.
hey, you know what, babe? I don't mean no disrespect, but this is probably not good for our health. I don't even care if it's lean cuisine. Like you gotta do something else right now. You know what I mean? But jokes aside,
Microwave
like
meals ain't doing it.
yeah, just not every day. Like, I'm
Right, right.
just
Right.
my stomach not cool with that. But yeah, no, seriously, I mean the effort. I think
Mhm.
the effort means a lot. If you hooking me up, you making sure I got something to eat at night. I mean, I'm good with that. Long story
Yeah.
short, you know what I mean? As long as it's like not something that is habitual and it's repetition in it, you're doing it every night, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? I think it matters. It's that's for me. And I can put that disclaimer out like Cam said. I can't speak for every man, but I just feel like effort matters too. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm eating, as long as we eating, we good.
Mhm.
Now, what about y'all cook? Because what do y'all think about gender roles?
Yeah. I was just about to say this kind of going in the gender role. I was just going to say that. But yeah, I cook a little bit, and I know Greg cooks a little bit as well. So I mean, I think that I don't know if gender roles exist in the same way that they used to. You know, I think that's pretty much across the board. I feel like most people in our generation feel that way.
Say it louder for the
So
people in the back, bro. I ain't mean to break. Like, I ain't mean to interrupt, but literally say it louder for the people in the back. Like, it's not the
yeah,
same as is even a generation ago.
yeah,
And our parents and our grandparents, it's not the same anymore.
Right.
yeah,
So
exactly. So my grandfather could work, and my grandmother didn't work. I don't
Right.
at some point in her life she probably wasn't even allowed to work because of how things were with women. Um, and they could buy a house for I don't know $20,000 or something ridiculous, right? So we can't do that now. The house prices are 10 times that. So in a lot of ways, you don't need yeah, unless the man balling and for y'all to live your lifestyle, you probably need both people working, right? And I
Right.
think for your sanity too, the woman probably wants to work nowadays. And most women they have that ambition, right? So
Okay,
yeah, I
Sierra,
think.
you want to work?
Hmm. What'd you say?
You don't want to work?
Don't. I do not.
Oh, really? Okay, okay. Oh, we got
That's
to
why I
get
was
into that
like,
conversation. We got to get into
okay,
that conversation.
I don't want to
But
work.
oh wow, okay. let me finish this, and I want to get
Uh-huh.
into that point too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that so I cook, and I think that it's teamwork when it comes down to those gender roles, right? So I think that we both need to be cooking and cleaning and helping out around the house and doing all that stuff, right? So it's teamwork, and I think as long as as a couple, as long as you communicate, it's cool, right? So like, if y'all know each other's schedule, it's just a matter of now you can text and be like, hey babe, I'm coming home late. I'm just gonna grab something. Did you cook? If you didn't, that's cool. I'm just gonna grab something on the way home, that kind of thing. Or, so it's just a communication thing. I know sometimes I take food out in the morning, like I'm gonna cook, and then I end up getting home late, and I'm like, you know what?
I ain't
Let me
even in
throw
the
this
mood.
back in the fridge.
Eggs
It
or
ain't happening
cereal.
tonight. It ain't
Right.
happening tonight. So
The beauty of
I
being
think it's just a
single.
communication thing. Yeah, for sure. So I think it's just a communication thing.
Yeah, and I have I know people who still believe in traditional gender roles, where they'll work, they'll still go and cook, and I'm just like, I don't foresee that for me. Like,
Right.
I feel like we both can get in the kitchen. You can chop something, I can saute something.
Right.
We can work it out, because essentially we both will be working the same amount of hours. Especially if I'm putting in equal pay into stuff, I expect equal effort into everything, or
Yeah,
as balanced as we possibly could get it.
Right.
for sure.
I want to touch on that, Ebony. I'm glad that you said that, because there was a time where and shoot, it might be now. I can't have to look back at the tax statements or something, but where I know that my wife was making more than me, and she might not say it because she's a good woman. She might, she's not going to belittle me or make me feel less than or anything like that. And let's be honest with everyone out there. Everyone knows that male ego is fragile. You know what I'm saying? So
It
with that
is.
being said, you know what I mean? I just know that if she's working, and this isn't for anyone that isn't working, but if she's working and I'm working, if I'm tired, then chances are she's tired. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, like, if there's a dish that isn't clean, or if there's the floor needs sweeping or something like that, like, you know what, if she didn't get to it, this is my house too. You gotta look at it like that. Like, this is my house too. Like, if you look at it like this my house too, if you were single, you're not going to be relying on somebody else to do it. So it goes back to you and Cam's point. So
Yeah, you're not putting your feet on the table saying, "Where's my dinner tonight?"
exactly.
Yeah.
But so
I mean, if you're doing that, you gotta pay all the bills for sure.
all the bills,
Yeah.
every last one of them. I don't want to pay a light bill. What's the cheapest bill in the house?
Right.
A water bill.
Yeah, the water bill
Yep.
cheap.
Nothing.
But see, we got to come back to you though. So you don't want to work?
No.
First of all,
You don't want to work.
I like the honesty, and I like the transparency. I actually, appreciate that. And I so this goes back to what we was talking, and I'm just going to touch on it real quick. Like, I would prefer, like, if my wife doesn't want to work at all, like, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that she works because she enjoys her job. But if she said, "Hey, I want to quit tomorrow and we can just do whatever," I'm cool with that too, because I don't want to work. I want to chill. I want to, enjoy home and raising our kids and all that other stuff. Like, so I understand that. And as a man, like, that is cool with that, like, I'm fine. So I'm good with whether you want to work or whether you don't. But just curious though, you know what I'm saying? Like your thoughts. No, like, for real.
All right. So when I say I don't want to work, I mean, I don't want to get up to an alarm clock every morning, get dressed, and go work for the government or for the man, someone else making money for them.
Yeah.
Now, I
Yep.
don't have any kids, but when I get married, if I have kids, I do want to be home with the kids the first few years. I do want to do that. And I don't want to sit at home and do nothing. I do have ideas of businesses that I want to have, that I want to run.
Okay.
Had them sketched out in a book and all of that. I would rather do that when I say I don't want to work than to get up every day. So
I
if
get
that
it.
means
I get it.
flipping homes, or making cookies in the house a little bit, bringing a little extra income in the very beginning until I get something established as far as a real income generating thing, and hopefully I'll already have a second stream of income coming in before I even get married or have the kids. So it's not like he's going to be working by himself and I'm not bringing anything in the house. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. But it just comes down to I'm tired of waking up every day and going to a job. And what am I getting from it? A paycheck, but it's not something I love. So you said your wife's a nurse. I
Hmm.
know people that are in that career field, like they love it with everything. My mom is 60.
Right.
I ain't gonna tell her real age, but she's 60 plus. Um, and she's still doing nurse stuff. She's a nurse practitioner, and
Hmm.
like
Mm.
it's in her blood. My grandma the same way. She was well into her 60s, close to 70s, where she still was doing that because she loved it. I don't love what I do. And maybe
Mm.
if I loved what I did, then I would not mind getting up for somebody else and making their money. But I don't want to work no more.
So here's
That's why
the
I've been working on
Hey,
my cooking skills so I can be at home when my boo come home. He got a little meal, house is clean. Like I'm no for real.
no,
This
no,
whole quarantine thing, I have been working on baking cakes and making different dishes. Like I'm trying to get my skills together for when I move on to my next chapter, work free.
Mm.
no. I'm glad you said that because just at I think it goes back to what we were talking about, just life edit and where we thought we were going to be. And so, I know that we've worked hard, all of us, to get to where we are now to a certain point. And for me, being in corporate America, I think I had a certain illustration in my head or whatever I was imagining, as I got older and like just, working in, working in, my corporate building on the 26th floor, which is all true. And we have this office, and I'm looking out, and sometimes I'm like, wait, did I really, expect this was what it was going to be? And then it's not
Mhm.
necessarily fulfilling. It's
Right.
about that residual income and being in business for yourself.
Hmm.
Mm.
So I think it goes back to that, and that's just a good point. So I'm glad you brought that up.
I have two things though.
Hmm.
Number one is even if you're an entrepreneur, you still might have to hit an alarm clock. I just want to be realistic. Like you
Yeah,
still
yeah.
have to get up. It's still going to take work. And then also too, men might expect if you say, "Hey, I don't want to work," then that much more effort you're going to have to put into cleaning, cooking, and I mean, I've talked to women and that's not fun for them. I mean, they might have like a part-time job or they might be an entrepreneur and do something on the side. But then because it's in comparison to what the other person does, they have to do that much more. And it's fun for the first day. It's fun for the first month. It's fun for maybe the first year. But after that, it gets to be too much. So just
Everyone's story is different. So I mean,
Mhm.
I'm comfortable in what I feel is the what I want. And if I get into it and you know, I'm with this person and it's 6 months in, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I will go back to the government and do some more stuff. Or maybe I will go out and go back into the workforce and do private industry now. Then I will. But what I feel in my heart I want to do right now is to be at home and just take care of the household. I need a break. I need a mental break. I need a physical break. And that's just what I want for now. Who knows? God may
Uh,
say, Sierra, no, you're going to forever work. And that's what's going to be. But
yeah.
what I want right now is to not work and to be at my house taking care of some little babies.
can I ask us all
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I don't know how to shape this question. When we get with someone else, why is it a relief? Like, why do we feel like, oh, now I get, I don't, it's not to what you just said, Sierra, it's just me thinking, like, now I can get a break. Like, now I can relax because I got somebody else holding me up instead of like, what if that person want to relax too? I don't know if that makes sense.
I've been in relationships and I don't honestly feel like when I got in a relationship, it was a relief. So I hopefully that's not what it kind of sounded like when I said I wanted to be at home. Any relationship I've been in, like I was still putting in my work, but at the same
Mhm.
time, you do get somebody who takes some of the load off.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do
Right.
everything. This is my house. Yes, I live here by myself and I can do it all by myself. But if I have a man who come over every now and then and he might take the trash out so I don't have to, just that alone, like that's enough of off of my shoulders. One thing, or turn the shower on for me. I'll go up there, just test the water. It just gives you some time to relax, and you can reciprocate it to him too. So maybe if
Mhm.
he's taking the trash out, that's the day he coming over and he's not having to cook at home. So you're helping each other in different ways. But I don't see a relationship as being a relief. it's just I don't see it as, oh wow, I'm with somebody, so now I can just put my hands up and I'm excused from being an adult. It's just you have someone, a companion that's going to help you and make it a
Yeah,
little bit easier.
I yeah, I think that I think that's what, like to Ebony's point, just I think there's a certain, I don't want to say expectation, but it kind of applies here. Like when you are in a relationship, you kind of expect help, in a way, whether not necessarily like it doesn't even have to be something big or it doesn't have to be financial, but it can be like, there's just, I got somebody help me pay some bills or something like that. But just as something small as like taking the trash out, turning on the shower, it's helpful versus like you having to do all of that by yourself.
Yeah.
So I think it goes back, Ebony, to answer your question. I think it's just maybe like a certain expectation. You just like maybe you can exhale a little bit and say, okay, well, it's cool having somebody to kind of help me with certain things. It doesn't have to be something big. It can really be small. But when you have someone versus just, if you're not in a relationship, sometimes you can just look at certain things as helpful. That's all.
I guess
Yeah. It
my
creates a
point was
team.
trying to be about expectation, because I've talked to a lot of friends about this word lately, and not even to what we're talking about, but just like what we expect from other people. Sometimes we expect people to behave a certain way because we behave that way, or we expect people to do certain things because if we were them, we would do it.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of want to dive into expectation a little bit. But Cam, you're about to say
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, no, I'll hit on that. And I want to say, so first off with Sierra, to your point, I think that's dope. And from a relationship standpoint, I would be 100% good with that. So I think that if you got someone in a relationship who, they're ambitious and they don't want to work their corporate job or their government job anymore, but they still have ideas of things they want to do on their own, that's still ambition, right? So I think that's when the communication and the expectation come in. You got to have somebody um, that thinks the way that you do, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when y'all have that communication, you can say, or he can say, hey, I 100% support you. I want our relationship to be this way. If you want to stay home, I support it. I make enough to take care of the house and the family. So I'm a support everything here. And you take care of the house, the fam, and you do your thing. And I'm gonna support you and you building up your business. So I think that's dope. And you just gotta have somebody who understands
Right.
that you can communicate that with, and they have the proper expectations when it comes to that. So yeah, definitely. I think to your point, Ebony, expectation is like really one of the biggest things. So that's something that you have to, again, I come back to this communication thing, right? You have to communicate the expectations, because a lot of times our expectations it comes from what we do ourselves, right? So you know if um if I'm the type of person who washes a dish every time I use it, and I'm expecting, my wife, fiance, whatever, to do that, then that might be the wrong expectation, because y'all might be doing two different things. So if I'm thinking that way, that's gonna create tension in a relationship, because if we don't talk about that, then every time I walk to the kitchen and see that dish
You'll be
in the
mad.
sink, oh, you're gonna be mad, right? It'll be like, what in the world? So you gotta have the proper expectations, and I think that comes from communication. So you just gotta understand, like, you gotta communicate and say, hey, listen, every time I like the kitchen to always be clean. So when I eat, I immediately wash the dishes. So that's what can we do that? And y'all just gotta communicate and be on the same page with those things. That's just a small example, but I think you gotta kind of do that with everything, right?
Because I think in our class, Ebony, if I remember correctly, I don't know if they ended up getting a divorce or it was just a constant argument when they were going over the expectations and communications part. The couple, it had to do with the way the cups were, whether they were putting the cupboard upside down or right side up.
Mm,
And they continued to argue about it. And it all came down to growing up. Their family had it one way and the other one had it another way. And so when they got into the household, the expectation was you're going to keep doing it the way that you've been
Always.
doing it, and they're
yeah.
arguing over it. And I don't know how it ended, but that was one of the examples. And I was like, dang, you really do have to remember that what you do and how you do things is from your childhood, how you were raised. And
exactly.
you weren't raised in the same house as the other person.
Right.
So you
Yep.
go in and have those, you have your own expectations, but you have to make sure that you talk about them and
Yeah.
compromise. Because I'm gonna tell you, Cam, I am not watching. You don't even want to see my sink right now. I'm not watching. I watch as I go when I'm cooking big stuff, but nah, not doing it every single time.
But I'm like a person that rinses it off, put it in the dishwasher.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I don't even do that. It'll go in the dishwasher eventually.
Nah, see, I'm with you. I'm usually like, I'm just gonna put it in the sink. I would do it later. That's kind of how I
That's
feel
me.
about
That's
it.
me. So
I mean, I do laundry and then I put the clothes in the basket and they gonna sit in the basket for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
baby in my guest room on the bed. Look,
It's being
Cam.
single. It's the single life though. Like
Right.
Right.
I wash clothes, they gonna stay in the dryer for a minute until I'm like, oh, I want to fold them. The folding
Come
is
all wrinkled out. You got to turn them back on.
Yeah,
It's
it's
in
the
there crying.
folding.
shoot, where is that top I want to wear? In the
Oh,
dryer.
yeah, it's in the dryer. But yeah, so that's a good point that what you were saying. So communication, expectations, all of it, just you got to start in the beginning with it, or it can be an issue later on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I had a question when it comes to, and I saw this like on Instagram or something, and somebody was saying like, would you rather have love or loyalty? And I don't know if we need to talk about love,
Oh,
like
yeah,
defining
my
what
friend
it is, but I just want to pose that
Mm-hmm.
question to you all. Like, what do you think is more important, loyalty part or the love?
Well, one of my friends asked me, can you love someone but not be loyal to them? So that's another question too.
Mm.
I think that love is unconditional, so I probably want love first because I feel like if you love me, you'll be loyal to me. Hopefully, I don't know. But for the other question I posed, I feel like I can be loyal to someone who I don't love. The
Yeah.
reason why I'm saying that is because loyalty to me is a character trait. Like you either are loyal or you're not. So I don't know. It's different.
Yeah. What you think, Sarah?
I wasn't ready for this one, so I'm thinking as I'm speaking. So if I sound crazy, it's because this is how it's coming in. But I would rather have loyalty because I feel like love comes from loyalty. So like loyalty is big in my family. The 5 of us, we was a fist, the 5, and like you always hold someone down. Like I look at my friends as sisters. I don't have any real sisters. Like my line sisters are my sisters. Like they don't know it, but they know it. They're my sisters, and I'm very loyal to them because I love them, and so therefore, I feel like the loyalty part. I would rather have someone be loyal to me because that's if you're loyal, that means you love that person to me. So to answer your other question, Ebony, I don't know if I can. We might have to do a better definition, but I don't know if I can be loyal to someone if I don't love them. Like I don't know if I can do that because it's one and the same to me.
Yeah.
It's very yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm speaking.
No, it's good.
I'm done.
No, yeah, that's good.
Next. I don't know what else.
So
to say.
both of y'all basically said that it's kind of one and the same, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. So let me ask you this though: do you think that you can? So you say you can be loyal to somebody and not love them, right? So do you think that loyalty, starting with the loyalty, can that turn into love?
If it's reciprocated. I don't think because eventually loyalty, though I am a loyal person, let's just take a friendship for example, right? We've been friends with people that we're automatically loyal to a friend if we call them a friend, whether we love them or not. Like let's say you just met a person 3 months ago, but y'all been hanging out all the time. You guys are friends, quote unquote. I mean, I don't call people friends that quickly, but I'm just making a point.
Right.
You will tend to be loyal to this person because you feel like, well, this is a good person, we vibe, but you don't love that person at this point. I mean, how could you, right? But the minute you start seeing that person do things that is not really loyal to you or that's maybe damaging to you, you start pulling back and being like, okay, well, that person obviously won't reciprocate the loyalty to me. So I think that the person has to be loyal back in order for me to feel like loyalty equates to love.
Are you being loyal to them in the beginning, or are you just respecting them?
No, there's people
Good
I've been
question.
loyal to. Like for instance, I remember this is years ago, but this girl had told me that we had mutual friends that
Mhm.
she liked this guy, right? And then the guy tried to talk to me.
Mhm.
Instead of me like entertaining the guy, I called her and said, "Hey, such and such tried to talk to me. Just want to let you know, didn't owe her anything, didn't really know her. I mean, again, had mutual friends, but that was a respect thing, but it's also me being loyal to the piece of her that I knew."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah. What you think, Greg?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll still listen. um, I think back to the previous question. I think I'm gonna rock with loyalty first, and then I think that loyalty can turn into love. It depends on the person, whether you're
Okay.
talking about a friendship, or relationship or what have you. But I'll take loyalty first. But it can, um, you know, um, I like that question that you posed, Sierra, is like, is it loyalty in the beginning, whether it's friendship, what have you? Is it loyalty or is it respect? I think it's
Mhm.
both. And then depending on the person, it can be loyalty. For me, especially, with my relationships, man, I try to be and remain loyal, and it's just like, as you said, Ebony, it's reciprocal, right? Because you want to, be loyal, but at the same time, you don't want to be a fool. If you got
Mhm.
this friendship and you're loyal to, you're loyal to your friends, but you can just tell there's certain things that are happening, and they might not even be doing it to you, but it's for other people. You gonna take a step back because you like, nah, eventually it's gonna come back to bite me.
Yeah,
And they're going
exactly.
to turn around and betray me.
Right.
Because it's a character thing. And so I think that's how I look at it.
Okay. So going back to the I guess kind of defining love in a way, do y'all see love as a feeling or is it a choice that you make?
I think love is a choice.
I think it's
I'm
both.
speaking from a person who got you guys might think I'm emotional, but I have the bare minimum emotions. So I feel like love is a choice.
Ebony, I never thought
You
you was
said the
emotional.
bare minimum.
Oh, good. 'Cause
Nah. No, you seem to be from my experiences and I guess what I know about you, you seem to be more thoughtful than emotional. So that's how I've always seen you.
that's
That
accurate.
makes sense. Yeah. What about you, Sarah? You think it's a feeling or a choice?
I think it's both. Um, you have to choose to love the person, but
Mhm.
I think you would get a feeling. You get a feeling like when you see them being successful and you see them happy, it drives you. That love grows, and so I think it's both.
I feel like feelings waver. But
It's both, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Mm,
you have a choice to get out of bed every day. Um,
yeah.
so it's the same thing. So like, you have a choice whether to go on a date or not,
Hmm.
and decide whether you're gonna like this person even more. Um, like you have to continue dating to keep interest if you're in a long-term relationship, whether you're married or
Mhm.
not. If you guys stop dating each other, you're going to lose interest. You're going to stop loving that person as much as you did before. You know what I'm saying? So in that instance, it's a choice to continue to love on. Let's just say like love on that person. So it's definitely a choice, and then the feeling follows. So I think it's both.
Mhm.
Like you choose to love somebody, um, you choose to love whoever, friendship, relationship, whatever, but it's a choice, and then I feel like the feeling follows. So yeah, Sierra, I agree, it's both.
Hmm. And Cam, you
Mm.
can't keep asking us questions and
and
not
not
answering them for
answer.
yourself
I was
because you
thinking
didn't answer the last one, and I was gonna let you slide, and I felt like you was about to do it
I
again.
could tell that was
Hey,
coming too, bro.
You saw what I was
not
about.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
where
answer your own
okay.
two
Hey, no
and the
problem.
last question.
I'll answer both of them. I'll answer both of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
So on the on this question, I think I'm kind of with Ebony, right? So I feel like love waivers, the feeling waivers, right? Because you can. I- So I think a lot of people get love and infatuation confused, right? So you can be overly or very infatuated with somebody, and you get that feeling, that emotional feeling. It's the same as what you think is love, right?
Mhm.
Especially based on what we see in movies and all this stuff. What they're showing us really is an infatuation more so than love, I think.
Mhm.
So that's what you perceive love to be. So I think the feelings waiver, you have to make the choice to keep loving that person. And that's why I would say that it's more so a choice. So I think there is some feeling in it, but it's primarily choice. That's how I'll answer that question.
Okay.
Um, and then to the
But it's stronger on one side. And
yeah.
that's pretty much, Ebony, yours was like kind of like that too, right?
I
It was
think so.
both,
I don't remember
but
my answer. This was a long time ago.
So to the love or loyalty, that's a tough question. That's why I asked it for you all to
Mhm.
you. But I think I would probably choose love. And I say that because I think that if you truly love somebody, as in like you've made the choice to love them, that you will just also decide to be loyal, right? So I think that with true love, both come with it.
I see
So
what you did there. You mixed both of those questions.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah, that's good. But I think that that is a good segue to in regards to loyalty and love. When is the right time for you guys talking to the women to cut someone off, whether it's friendship, whether it's relationship? Because I know we all previously might have discussed this about cutting people off, and it's January, it's New Year.
Mm.
Like when do you guys consider the right time to maybe cut someone off?